morning! Thank you for attending the South High School flag retirement ceremony. We will begin today's ceremony with the presentation of colors by South High School Jared C. Color Guard under command of Cadet Captain Dilly, and the singing of the national anthem by Cadet Captain White. Please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Color Guard, attention!
Honor Guard, attention!
Carry colors. Forward, march. Colors reverse, march. Color Guard, halt. Post. Colors. Freeze it. On.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Exit. March.
At this time, the veterans may take their seats. These individuals have earned their right through the demonstrated dedication, commitment, and service to this country. Some of these flags that we are retiring today have been displayed in various public places all over the state and even the nation. They have become faded and worn over the graves of our departed comrades who paid the ultimate price for our freedom. When the United States flag becomes worn, torn, faded, or badly soiled, it should no longer be displayed. The flag should be replaced and then disposed of with the respect and dignity befitted the symbol of our great nation. U.S. Federal Code requires only that the flag is be disposed of in a dignified manner, preferably by burning. The ceremony today is to meet the legal requirement and to reinforce that meaning and the symbolism of the American flag. As we conduct this ceremony to retire these flags, we ask that all present remain silent. The flag should be treated with respect when it's flying and when it is being retired. A flag ceases to be a flag when it is cut up into pieces. It is also easier to completely incinerate the flag if it's cut into pieces. All of the flags that we are retiring today have been cut into individual stripes in the Union. The Union is the proper name for the blue field that the stars are on. We'll start the retirement by the incineration of these stripes, and the Union with a special symbolism assigned to each piece. The first red stripe, the original 13 colonies: Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, and Rhode Island.
first white stripe, purity and cleanliness of purpose, thought, word, and deed.
The third stripe. The red stripe reminds us of the blood of the brave men and women who are ready to die in the pursuit of freedom and are still serving to keep our nation free and pursue the cause of freedom for those suffering oppression worldwide.
The fourth stripe, our national flag and signs, pure and simple, behold it. Every star has a tongue, every stripe is articulate.
The fifth stripe. I know what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
The sixth stripe. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America.
The seventh stripe. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with a certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
The eighth stripe. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof.
The ninth stripe. Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or press.
The 10th stripe. 7 years ago, our forefathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
The 11th stripe. If it be asked, what is the most sacred duty and the greatest source of our security in a republic? The answer would be a inviolable respect for the Constitution and the laws, the first growing out of the last. A sacred respect for the constitutional law is the vital principle and the sustaining energy of a free government.
The 12th stripe. God grants liberty only to those who love it and are always ready to guard and defend it.
The 13th stripe. I tear her tattered ensign down. Long has it waved on high, and many an eye has danced to see the banner in the sky.
The Union is representative of truth and justice. The stars on the Union represent the 50 sovereign states.
At this time, we invite those who would like to come and get a piece of the flag for an honor detail member and place it in the fire. While this is going on, we will be recognizing active, retired, and deceased military personnel. Staff Sergeant Kevin Inabit, Army, Afghanistan. Staff Sergeant Adrian Quintana, Air Force, Afghanistan. Petty Officer Joe Davis, Navy. Specialist Roger DeMoss, Army, Vietnam. Lieutenant Colonel Victor Vasquez, Army, Iraq. Sergeant First Class David DeMoss, Army. Specialist Henry Ortiz, Army. Petty Officer Victor Porterize, Navy. Lance Corporal Bob Lucero, Marine Corps, Japan. William Knight, Army, Afghanistan. George Flavita, Navy. Marty Moore, Navy, Vietnam. Seaman Dennis Valdez, Navy, USS Reeves. Sergeant First Class Virgil W. Stero, Navy/Army, Vietnam. Tech Sergeant Virgil G. Stero, Air Force, Iraq, Afghanistan. Brian McLaughlin, Army, Iraq. Dayton Shannon, Marine Corps. Specialist Yazeli Para, Army. High First Class Brenna Gollage, Army. Sean Gollage, Marine Corps. Joshua Sessions, Navy. Mark Gollage, Marine Corps, Iraq. Blake Gollage, Air Force. Eddie Martinez, Army. Dave Martinez, Navy, Vietnam. Staff Sergeant Chris James, Army. Sergeant Chris Wells, Army. Sergeant Wayne Wells, Army, Gulf War. Petty Officer Norbert Valdez, Navy, Vietnam. Seaman Gilbert Valdez, Navy, Vietnam. Petty Officer Herbie Valdez, Navy, Vietnam.
David Patek, Navy. First Lieutenant Alan Shar, Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, World War II. Sergeant Will Troutween, Army, Iraq. C.J. Sandoval, Air Force. Randy Hill, Navy. James Holman, Army, Vietnam. Michael Holman, Marine Corps, Afghanistan. Corporal Kenneth Dawson, Army, Vietnam. Corporal Gerard Castilla, Marine Corps, Iraq. Private First Class Tamio Valdez, Army, World War II. Lawrence Valdez, Army, Vietnam. Specialist Edward Garner, Army, Iraq. Specialist Angela Ducos, Army. Specialist Albert Garner, Army. Specialist Thad Garner, Army, Iraq and Korea. Sergeant Shane Garner, Army, Korea. Airman Thad Garner Jr., Air Force. Chief Warrant Officer Lauren Garner, Army, Iraq and Afghanistan. Specialist Xavier Garner Orr, Army. Dave Evil, Army, Vietnam. Specialist Stephen Lee, Army. Virgil F. Sterry, Army, World War II. Airman Ray Provost, Air Force. John Marquardt, Air Force. Jean Provost, Army, Korean War. Specialist Ben Shar, Army, Afghanistan. Quartermaster Tony Johnson, Air Force. Staff Sergeant Rob Smith, Air Force. Bob Sprouse, Army, Vietnam and a Silver Star. Sergeant Benny Berea, Army, World War II, 2 tours. Sergeant Sylvester Avron, Army, Iraq. Sergeant Chris James, Army, Desert Storm. If you guys would like to form 2 lines here, because there are 2 people handing out flags. Petty Officer Joe Davalos, Navy. I'll now read a poem dedicated to our flag. I have been soiled upon, burned, torn, and trampled in the streets of my country. And when it's done by those whom I've served in battles, it hurts, but I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I've borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours are yet to come. When I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, when I am flown at half-staff to honor my soldiers, or when I lie in the arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter, I am proud.
Yes, please, but just wait until she gets back because someone has to be up here. I'm going to do
We would like to end today's ceremony with the playing of taps. Please remove any hats or caps and place your right hand over your heart while taps is being played.
This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for coming out to honor our nation's flags.